Really excited to welcome Big Olu to the Jets. So the details of the trade, I don't know if you guys have it with Minnesota. We moved back one spot. We picked up pick 129 in the fourth, pick 157 in the fifth, and we gave Minnesota 10 and 203. Obviously excited about Olu, proven pass protector, left tackle. Feel like he can really develop and become an impact blocker for us moving forward. So, open up to questions.
Is that where you see him projected as a left tackle moving forward?
Well, I think that's what he's had his most success at in high school and college, and obviously been a dominant left tackle at Penn State the last 2 seasons. So, yeah, we've got a great room of vets that can take him under their wing, and great coaches that can develop him.
Joe, can you bring us a little bit through? I mean, you guys have given no indication that you're going to take a quarterback that high, and was that a little curious? Can you take us through the Minnesota talk there? Because that was a little bit unexpected.
Yeah, I think you saw another quarterback went shortly after Minnesota pick. So, I think for them, they wanted the security of making sure they got the guy that they coveted. And look, there was a lot of calls leading up to that pick, and there was a lot of calls when we were on the clock. So, it was really active to start this draft.
The debate outside the building has been protector versus playmaker.
Yeah.
Was that a similar conversation inside the building over the last few weeks, months? And could you, just how did you land on protection?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like we were in a unique situation where Coach and I, we burned our retinas out watching tape together over the last few weeks of the depth at pass catcher and tackle is really unique, and obviously the best players in this draft are playing those positions. So you saw 3 receivers go really high, and then 2 tackles went high, and so we wanted to make sure that we could capitalize on the best remaining player.
If one of those receivers was there, would you have stayed at 10?
If one of the receivers were there,
still there.
It's high. Those receivers are great players. They're going to be great pros. They weren't there, so I can't really live in that world. But they're going to be tremendous players.
Typically, when a team picks a guy 10th, there's usually an easy path to the starting lineup. Obviously, with Tyron there, that's not going to be the case. So, how do you weigh that when you're picking? It's more of a future type pick. How does that factor into the evaluation?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week. I don't think it mattered who we picked. Really, it was going to be a tough path to the starting lineup. But just great discussions with Coach and the staff, the coordinators, position coaches, and I feel like we locked in to a group of 8 or 9 guys that we felt would be the best fit for us now and obviously the future with the depth we have on the team.
Robert, with what you guys have gone through on the offensive line over the last since you've been here, really, do you feel like that's a position where you can't have enough players out there?
Yeah, you guys know me by now. O-line, D-line, the more the merrier. It's you can never have enough. I'll always argue that between the offensive and defensive lines, those are the only 2 positions that don't need other positions to perform for them to do their jobs, where every other position kind of relies on them. From an O-line perspective, to be able to protect the quarterback, keep him upright, allow him to go through progression so he can get it to our playmakers, and we do feel like we've got a bevy of them. Getting and improving our offensive line in free agency and adding to the depth and the future of the offensive line was a big part of the discussion.
How valuable can it be for him to sit and learn from Tyron Smith in general this year?
It's going to be valuable. Tyron is we've gotten to know him through free agency in these first 2 weeks. Elite human. I feel like he's the first one in. Anytime I'm in the building, I feel like I see him. It's hard to miss him. gargantuan of a human being, but he's an elite human, and he's there's between him and Morgan just so much wealth and knowledge and experience, and not only in technique, but also just how to be a pro and how to prepare at this level. The young man's only 21 years old. He hasn't even scratched the surface, and he's walking into a situation where he's going to learn exactly what it takes to last in this league.
Joe, do you envision a situation where you could potentially trade up into the second round this year now that you've added more draft capital in 4 and 5?
Well, adding those extra picks and the ammo is great. It gives us a lot even more flexibility, and so we'll huddle up tomorrow. Assess how the rest of the round goes, and we'll put our board together again for tomorrow night. And so I'm sure, just like there was at pick 10, there's going to be about 5 or 6 different scenarios that we'll run through in terms of moving up, moving back, staying put. So having these extra picks certainly adds the flexibility to do a lot of different things.
There were a handful of really good tackles when you were picking.
Yeah.
What separated Olu from the Fuagas and Falcanos?
Yeah, all great players. It was such a unique draft class at the tackle position because we really felt that there was a handful of guys that were unbelievable players, and so with Olu, I mean, obviously him being a left tackle, just what he does in pass pro, his production in pass pro, guys, very low pressure rates, playing in one of the top conferences in the country. He's just a really high-level, high-impact pass protector. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his run blocking. Just a big, giant body, 6'6", 315 pounds with long arms, and he's a very tough, competitive young man.